Hey everyone, the Spring Home Show is right around the corner. And speaking of spring, I have today Jonathan DeWeerd, the Chief Building Official of the City of Stratford, here with us. And we thought today we would talk a little bit about building some decks, building some sheds, getting outside because spring is here. So you've been busy, to say the least, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're really busy here at the City of Stratford. It's great to see spring almost here. It's a little cool yet today, so that's why we're inside, which is great. And yeah, the permits are starting to come in, so we just want to remind people that decks, sheds need permits, and come and see us for those permits.
Well, and so as Jonathan said, we're in a new home build today. Did they have a permit?
Of course they did. Of course they did.
So they've got a permit here for the deck that's going on, and maybe there'll be a shed. So we're just actually not that far from the home show where it's located, just over, in what do we call the subdivision?
We just call this the Orr Street Extension. But
okay,
yeah.
So we're in the Orr Street Extension. So of course, this is new home build, but do you find more often than not, let's say I've been in my property for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and I want to do an addition, I want to make a renovation. Are people getting those permits?
So yeah, we're finding people get those permits. We find people that, forget about the permits. So that's why we want to remind people that you need a building permit when you're putting an addition on the house as well. And for sheds over 108 square feet, they need to have building permits for those too. And yeah.
Can you explain the importance though? Because I don't think not everyone necessarily understands. It's not about, you got to pay for this and you got to do that. There's a reason. There's a really important reason to get this permit.
Exactly. So the reason is safety. We're here to do safety checks to make sure that things aren't going to fall down. We've all seen pictures of, decks with hot tubs that fall down off of houses. We don't want to see that sort of thing. So that's really why we're here, to help with that, to make sure that it's safe, it's secure, and we also want to make sure that it's on your property. Nothing worse than building it on someone else's property.
I have seen that, and it could be literally like you're an inch over, or you're this and that, and then so what happens when that happens?
So those are the worst case scenarios. People would have to potentially move their shed, apply for minor variances, which are expensive, and go to committees and actually ask for permission to do that. So yeah, the easiest thing to do is to come and talk to us. We are approachable. You can reach out to us at the office and get some advice before you start your projects.
I can attest to that. Jonathan and his team are so great to work with. And you know what? It's kind of like the whole thing, I guess. I've said this to you before, of like, measure twice, you're going to cut once, or like call before you dig. These are all super important things to think about, and do the due diligence. Take your time and do it right, as opposed to having to backtrack and move that fence, or have to move, as you said, that hot tub, or you poured a cement pad and spent 5 to 10K on it maybe, and then you realize, oh dear, we've made a mistake. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you don't want to have to pull something apart. We don't like making people pull things apart any more than they like it when we show up. So,
question for you: how do you become a chief building official?
A chief building official, there are courses to take. The building inspecting industry in general is looking for people. So there are ministry courses that are available, courses through colleges. I would encourage people. I know that we've got the young people from the high schools showing up at the home show this year. So, yeah. For the kids out there, if this is something that's interesting, you maybe want to work on a construction site, but you don't want to get dirty every day. That was my story. I started out when I was 14 years old working on construction sites with my father. And I just worked my way into architectural technology, which is one of the streams you can take to get into that. And, at the end of the day, it's a great, rewarding career. You get to help people out and see safe buildings, and that's something that's so important.
Well, and it's never ending, right? Like, we look at statistically, just so that you know, that you will probably hear in the media over the next, even this year, that in Ontario alone, we need to build more than 1 million homes to keep up. We are behind in building, right? That's right. When you look at that, like if you're thinking about jobs, sustainability, and longevity of that, the building industry isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
No, that's exactly right, Melissa. It's not going anywhere. They're great jobs, great paying jobs, and you get the fulfillment of working with your hands and going home at the end of the night and feeling like you accomplished something. It's great to stand on these streets and to stand back and say, I had a part in making sure that these houses are here for the next 50, 100 years, and also that they're going to be safe in that time.
Yeah, and you are all about safety.
That's right. Yeah, my little mantra is to build safe, and we've added a little tagline on there: build safe, build with permits. So
It's important, and definitely listen to what Jonathan has to say. And you made a good point too. Home show coming up on April 9th and 10th, and a really great opportunity. You maybe have somebody that's in high school or someone even younger thinking about getting into the skilled trades or just wants to get their hands into it. You've got to check out a couple of the different booths. We've got both of the school boards. We've got the Ava-Maitland and the Huron-Perth Catholic School Boards, separate booths. We've got booths all around, and each of those are going to have hands-on activities that you can literally work on the activity and take it home, and they're going to be like woodworking projects. Also, technical training group, for instance, will have simulating welding. So a lot of opportunity, I think, for young people to come in and get their hands not necessarily dirty, but to really get hands-on with some one-on-one assistance from some of the high school students that are also getting into the skilled trades. And you know, that it's nice to see that guidance pass along. And I always say too, you know, you want to try it first, and then you'll see if it sticks.
Exactly. Right? Yep. No, that's exactly it, Melissa. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a great place to try it, try out the trades, and you know, if you like the trades, if you think you like to make sure that things are done right, if you like to look for quality, have a detail-oriented mind, consider becoming a building official. And if you need some information on that, reach out to us here in the building department too, because we're happy to help young people out as they figure out their path.
And last question for you. So going into your kind of position, would you recommend, should you start in the skilled trades like you did when you were 14, building to really understand the science of it, the technology part of that, and then get into it? What would you say is the best kind of path?
Yeah, I mean, I love that approach because you learn how things get put together. There's nothing wrong with learning the book and having a good book knowledge and that understanding. That's important, but to know how a house goes together, to know how an old house goes together, that there's so much value in that and understanding how they work. And I think you get a little bit more respect from the tradespeople that are out there as well, because they know that, you can put that tool belt back on and you can get out there and help them.
You know how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you. I've been picking Jonathan's brain all morning here, and I'm going to continue to do so. So, if you want to chat with more people about getting into skilled trades, if you want to learn more about the industry, come on down. A great place to do it. Of course, maybe you might be needing to put in your windows, doors, or siding, or maybe thinking about a swim spa. Those sorts of things will also be at the home show, but something for everybody, I always say.
That's right.
Yeah. Come on down. We'll see you on April 9th and 10th. I got to tell you, it is great to be back. Stratford Spring Home Show coming soon.